Hello, everyone, and welcome to Connect News. My name is Minerva, and these are today's top news.
The Muharramul Haram crescent has been sighted, and Youm-e-Ashur will be observed on Thursday, August 19, the Central Ruet-e-Hilal Committee announced on Monday. The first of Muharram, which is also the first day of Hijri year 1443 according to the Islamic calendar, will be observed on Tuesday, August 10th. The announcement was made following a meeting for the moon sighting, chaired by Ruet-e-Hilal Committee Chairman Maulana Muhammad Abdul Khabir Azad in Quetta. The provincial and district moon sighting committees also held their meetings simultaneously today at the respective headquarters. Muharram is the month of mourning for the 7th century martyrdom of Hazrat Imam Hussain, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Security is beefed up across the country for the many processions taken out by the believers. The country has seen a raft of attacks at Imam Bargahs and processions in the past. Like last year, this Muharram will also be observed under the COVID-19 pandemic, and authorities have warned the citizens to strictly adhere to the standard operating procedures, including mask wearing and social distancing, to avoid spike in number of coronavirus cases and deaths. The United Nations Panel on Climate Change told the world on Monday that global warming was dangerously close to being out of control and that humans were unequivocally to blame. Already, greenhouse gas levels in the atmosphere are high enough to guarantee climate disruption for decades, if not centuries. The report from the scientists of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change warned. In other words, the deadly heat waves, gargantuan hurricanes, and other weather extremes that are already happening will only become more severe. Monday alone saw 500,000 acres of forest burning in California, while in Venice, tourists waded through ankle-deep water in St. Mark's Square. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres described the report as a code red for humanity. The alarm bells are deafening, he said in a statement. This report must sound a death knell for coal and fossil fuels before they destroy our planet. In an interview with Reuters, activist Greta Thunberg called on the public and media to put massive pressure on governments to act. In 3 months' time, the UN COP26 climate conference in Glasgow, Scotland, will try to wring much more ambitious climate action out of the nations of the world and the money to go with it. Drawing on more than 14,000 scientific studies, the IPCC report gives the most comprehensive and detailed picture yet of how climate change is altering the natural world and what could still be ahead. Unless immediate, rapid, and large-scale action is taken to reduce emissions, the report says, the average global temperature is likely to reach across the 1.5 degrees Celsius warming threshold within 20 years. The pledges to cut emissions made so far are nowhere near enough to start reducing the level of greenhouse gases, mostly carbon dioxide from burning fossil fuels, accumulated in the atmosphere. The Pakistan blind cricketers held a protest demonstration against the Pakistan Cricket Board for allocating insufficient budget for visually impaired athletes of the country. The blind cricketers gathered outside the Qazafi Stadium in Lahore and criticized the governing body for low budget. They demanded and asked for an increase in budget. The cricketers said that they only received 10,000 rupees per month as per their central contract, which was inadequate. The budget of the Blind Cricket Council was not increased over the past 2 years. The sources said the PCB allocated 17 million rupees as annual budget for the Blind Cricket Council. The PCB rejected the demand of the Blind Cricket Council. The protesters, however, called off their protest after team captain Nisar Ali informed them that PCB had accepted their demand to increase the budget by 5%. He stated that if the budget was not increased further within a month, the players would hold protest outside the Prime Minister's house in Islamabad. Taliban militants captured a sixth provincial Afghan capital on Monday, a lawmaker said after ousting Afghan security forces from border towns and trade routes as US-led foreign forces pull out. The Taliban have stepped up their campaign to defeat the government as foreign forces withdraw after 20 years of war. On Monday, they took Ibak, the capital of the northern province of Samangan. The insurgents took three provincial capitals over the weekend: Zaranj, the capital of the southern province of Nimroz; Saripul, the capital of the northern province of the same name; and Talukan, the capital of northeastern Takhar province. They had already taken the northern provincial capital of Kunduz and Lashkargah, capital of southwestern Helmand province. The Taliban gains have sparked recriminations over the withdrawal of foreign forces. British Defence Secretary Ben Wallace told the Daily Mail that the accord struck last year between the United States and the Taliban was a rotten deal. Wallace said his government had asked some NATO allies to keep their troops in Afghanistan once the US troops departed, but failed to garner enough support. Germany's defense minister rejected calls for its soldiers to return to Afghanistan after Taliban insurgents took Kunduz, where German troops were deployed for a decade. Afghan commandos had launched a counter-attack to try to beat back Taliban fighters who overran Kunduz, with residents fleeing the conflict describing the almost constant sound of gunfire and explosions. A Taliban spokesperson warned the United States on Sunday against intervening following US airstrikes to support beleaguered Afghan government forces. The United States has vowed to pull out most troops by the end of the month, ending its longest war. In the west, near the border with Iran, security officials said heavy fighting was underway on the outskirts of Herat. Arif Jalali, head of Herat Zonal Hospital, said 36 people had been killed and 220 wounded over the past 11 days. More than half of the wounded were civilians, he said, and women and children were among the dead. UNICEF, in a statement on Monday, said 20 children were killed and 130 children had been injured in southern Kandahar province in the last 72 hours.
Thank you for watching the news. Please listen and share with others. If you like the video, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Bye.